military because I came from a military family. My father served in the Army and the Navy, and my grandfather served in World War II in the Army on Okinawa. Just always felt that it was something that I wanted and needed to do to serve our country and to help us to have the freedoms that we enjoy today.
I always wanted to serve my country and be a part of something bigger than just myself. Being in the military is kind of like being part of a high-performing championship sports team. Camaraderie's high, energy's high, everyone's focused, and you're building experiences that people who aren't part of the organization can't understand, even if you told them.
I think having served in the Marine Corps, one of the neat and unique things about it being the smallest branch of the service is the camaraderie that you develop with fellow Marines. Once a Marine, always a Marine. And it takes nothing to walk up to another Marine and start a conversation due to the fact that all Marines have a shared similar background. They all come from one of two boot camps, and we all serve having that similar experience. Some of my best friends who I still stay in contact with are people that I served with in the Marine Corps. I think the big thing is the contacts that you make and the friendships that you make, and using those contacts and friendships to enhance your life, whether it be for employment or just to hang out with people who have a shared experience that not everybody can understand.
The military experience, I feel, gave me a broader perspective of the world. Like I tell people, I think it's helped me see the world better. It's something that I did, not something that I am.
Growing up in a military family had a big effect on my life. It's basically like growing up in a different culture. In fact, I actually lived in a different culture. I was born and grew up in Germany, West Germany in fact, and that was my life as a small child, with my mom or my dad, both of whom were in the military, gone for periods of time and then home again. You know, living in a foreign country has really made me who I am today, in fact.
My husband was in the military for 13 years. All 13 of those years we were married. And so I spent many years with him all over the country. He also spent probably 5 or 6 of those years living or serving overseas away from me and our children. So it's affected me tremendously. I have spent many, many months at a time by myself, which means my children have spent many months by themselves, not being able to see their dad. Communication being the way it is, they can talk to him, they could FaceTime him, but it's really hard to grow up living without one of your parents. Not by a choice of your own. It's not something that they chose to come into. It's something that he chose and we chose for them. And it's very stressful having your husband and the father of your children be in harm's way and not knowing if he's okay or what's happening or what he's having to deal with on a daily basis.
Veterans Day is important to remember those who volunteered to serve and defend the nation. The military is an all-volunteer force. In fact, right now, only 0.4% of our U.S. population is serving on active duty. It's a very small group of people. In all, only 7.3% of all Americans have ever served in any capacity. So it's important that we take the day to remember those who volunteered to defend the country.
Veterans Day is a day to honor all of our veterans and their spouses and their families and everybody that's affected by their service. I greatly respect everybody that has given of their time and their lives, and their families that have given their times and their lives for our country. I think it's great to respect them and honor them, and it makes me think of a lot of the families that I know while we were stationed on bases whose husbands either suffered some serious disabilities and their lives are never the same, or the one friend of mine whose husband never came home. and it makes me pause and reflect. And I think it's important that whether or not you have ever been in that situation or know anybody in that situation, that you respect the people who have given of their lives or have given of their loved ones so that you can live the way that you want to live.
Veterans Day is an opportunity to honor those who served before us and continue to serve today, to ensure that we have the rights and freedoms that we've become accustomed to in our country, and just to thank those people for the sacrifices they've made to help continue to make our country great.
Veterans Day is a very special day for my family. Both my parents were in the military. My dad was an Army sergeant, and my mother was actually in the Women's Auxiliary Corps during the Vietnam War. So on Veterans Day, it's so nice that we have it off, because my kids and I meet my parents for breakfast in the morning, and lots of different places do like free breakfast or free lunch, and we just kind of spend the whole day celebrating with my parents, going out to eat, and just having a good day that's special for them, where other people tell them thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. Just want to take this opportunity to thank current and past veterans, including the staff here at East High. They are going above and beyond in their daily lives, and they've also sacrificed much more than we ever can imagine. So thank you again, and happy Veterans Day.
Honored to thank all the veterans who have served our country. It's also maybe a little known fact, but maybe it should be well known, that our first class president that ever served at East High is a veteran of the United States military and served in Vietnam and lost his life. His name was David Alexander. We're working on dedicating one of our fields to him. So again, I want to thank all the veterans for all that they do for our great country.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man